The board heard great news regarding the Maryland School Assessments, commonly referred to as the MSAs. Grades 3 through 8 take these tests each year.
Basically, in reading, we've had a 19-point gain since 2003.
Highlights: elementary reading up 19 points since 2003, math up 21. In middle school, reading up 12 points, math up 23.5. Steady progress. The 8 subgroups, Black, White, Indian, Asian, Hispanic, Special Education, Limited English Proficient, and Low-Income students all improved.
So we're really feeling like everyone is working hard with all students.
Educators define the results as basic, proficient, or advanced. Here's an even clearer picture of progress. In 03, 58% of the 3rd grade rated proficient or advanced in reading. This year, more than 80%. Grade 5 math, back then, 63%. Now, more than 78% are proficient or advanced. Still, No Child Left Behind requires all students be 100% proficient by 2014.
Simple math tells us some of these things are not going to work. And the question is, start to think about what then?
Board members concede all students probably will not make the deadline.
What is the level of flexibility? Because I would, say that there is no state in the country that's going to make it for every subgroup. On the other hand, it is worthy that there's pressure because you can see that having a goal is enhancing to the quality of work that's being done.
It is a bold promise, and we look at it very seriously to make sure that all of our children are literate at the end of 3rd grade. It's coming in our front door, Yelton.
Reading First targets kindergarten through 3rd grade in low-achieving, high-poverty school systems. Embattled nationally, its director says the program works well here in Maryland, in the 8 school systems and 44 schools in which it's used. Board members say they think Reading First has helped boost MSA scores.
This is really simple. We want to provide as many possible ways for students to not only improve their ability in the 4 subjects that are tested in the Maryland HSA, but to be successful in their ability to graduate on time.
You're going to calculate, and what do you want now? What do you want to do?
With HSA passing requirements in English, algebra, biology, and government just around the bend in 2009, the board welcomed Superintendent John Daisy of Prince George's.
We have a formal set of interim assessments modeled.
He talked about efforts to help students pass the HSAs.
HSA that we provide in these 4 core subjects.
This is ground level work.
Harvard Superintendent Jackie Haas joined Daisy.
Little children, there needs to be short-term things, there needs to be long-term strategies.
Here are a few of those strategies presented by the 2 school chiefs.
There are county-wide writing problems in BCRs, or brief constructed responses, and ECRs, extended constructed responses, that are provided weekly for every HSA course across the county.
Every teacher has a computer in their room. They have access to what Inform is our database system, and they have multiple streams of data that they can correlate and manipulate and look at the students that they teach.
We use what we call data summary meetings, which occur 4 times a year, with the faculties of the schools, with the principals, meet with the regional office, and examine the quarterly benchmarks.
Students take those remediation programs during the day, and because you know that not all kids can stay after school, or if we want them to participate in extracurricular things.
And we have done a great deal around the focus groups with teachers so that they are constantly editing and revising. We are always mining for the best work.
If they fail below the minimum, they retake the course, but they take the cognitive tutor along with it side by side so that we don't just repeat the course the way we gave it to them last time. We try to do something different that's going to help them do a better job.
We also provide first-time HSA takers with 5 weeks of extended school for students who have truly struggled. And this is all provided free. So basically, we are telescoping out the school year for a small number of youth who are really, really struggling.
And we have really tried to retool what we do in summer school. There may be a place for kids who didn't do certain things but knew the material.
The MSDE online government course and their ELO is probably the best I've ever seen and has proved to be a huge lift in supplemental. I just don't believe that we could have ever created that.
We have also a system-wide initiative on something in the literature is called professional learning communities, and we have established that structure in every school in our county.
To keep pace, Haas says Maryland could use an extended school day. And she says we need to help teachers cope with the increased workload. Daisy sees rough patches with English language learners and the learning disabled. The board posed questions.
I'm curious about the effect that this effort has on other subjects, and the kids in those subjects, and the teachers are important too.
I think the point is well taken. The point is well taken on behalf of the teachers who all teach important things if we want citizens that are prepared for post-secondary or the world of work. HSAs alone will not do that. And so I think we have to come to an agreement that we all have to collectively guard to make sure we preserve what we are really trying to do for our students and make sure that we do.
The first thing I've done is logged in. I have a username and password, which you create.
On day 2, Joanne Erickson explains an update on what is called the Educator Information System. It's now online. Briefly, this system greatly streamlines teacher certification processes. It's a huge time saver, from online applications and access to records to downloading and printing teacher certificates.
You know, nothing real fancy, but we went out and got some lights yesterday, so we're very excited, you know, it's like a home improvement job out there. So
Passers-by can now admire student artwork at the State Department of Education downtown on Baltimore Street. The old Gage's men's store has closed, but its store display windows now feature creations from students around the state.
We are losing several board members that have been very solid contributors to the work of this board.
Finally, 4 members leave the board after this day.
When I was in 8th grade,
Student member Brian Frazee says he learned in junior high where he wanted to sit as a senior.
About it, and I said, "You've got to be kidding me. There's a student that serves on the State Board of Education."
Maria Torres Queral educated board members and brought to bear a strong knowledge of the Hispanic culture.
Many of you know that this place is my second home. I worked here 10 years. And served on the board 4.
Cal Disney served on Baltimore County's board and the state board for nearly 20 years. His expertise was financial.
We really don't have very much authority. The only thing we really have is persuasion.
And the board loses its president, Ed Root. His witty leadership provided congeniality and consensus across the board.
We're losing part of that mix, but I'm optimistic that the people who will be coming on the board will fit right in, and this board will not skip a beat.
This has been News from the Board with MSDE TV.